Well, recently I've been watching a series of videos on YouTube by a user called Miles Per Hour 1985, I think it is. If not, I'll have a link to the videos in my underbar. And it's been really fascinating to watch because I agree majority on every single one of his points. And I particularly like his video where he got one of his friends who is a psychologist to almost psychoanalyze the, sort of the mind of the conspiracy theories. And I absolutely 100% agree that it does become a belief system, and it borders on almost a militaristic belief system that they have of these, absolute clinging on to one of these beliefs, because once people start to believe in one conspiracy theory, they start to believe in another conspiracy theory, and then this sort of builds into a web, and then they can't not believe in one conspiracy theory, because if they don't believe in one, then it's almost they can't believe in the rest, and their web sort of falls apart into, well, it's almost like they live in a bubble and they just can't survive outside of their bubble. And it was absolutely fascinating to watch sometimes the spin of what happens to some of these people, where you'll point out a fact or something and they'll go off the rails. And I entirely agree with what the guy was saying, that any attack on the conspiracy theory is construed as attack against them. So, and it explains so often how, there will be loads of people that have seen this. When you talk to a conspiracy theory, or you correct them, or you say, actually, no, that's not entirely right, it's actually this number, or no, you've not entirely true. But it's not their problem. It's not their fault that they're like this. It's their leaders' fault, in a way. In fact, it's the majority of their leaders, and primarily at the moment, I'd say it's Alex Jones, David Icke, and definitely probably people of them, but they, I'd say at the moment, probably the biggest two. And these are the people that you've got to go after and debunk and fact check. And once you do, you'll start to you hope, I've seen some of the people where you've quoted the right facts of them and said, no, actually, he's wrong. He's quoting the wrong facts, and he's wrong. So why do you still listen to him and believe him? And that's what I've always tried to do with my channel, because in Miles's video, he comes at it from a science point of view. I have a Bachelor of Science in Media Production, so I come at it from more of almost like a media sort of analyst, journalistic type of approach to it. So it's absolutely amazing when they get the facts wrong, and you can just literally, honestly, most of the time, a simple Google search will prove these guys wrong. That's the extent of how wrong it is most of the time. And then other times, they'll quote things in their articles. Like recently there was, they did an interview where they actually misquoted someone, and they could be sued for libus. If this guy decides to go after them if he wants to. And they basically quoted, oh, it's from the London Guardian. Well, you click on it, it doesn't take you to the London Guardian at all. It takes you to another website, and then you look at that website, they don't even quote the London Guardian. So, and then there's the other part of where sometimes, the majority of times, where there's almost like this circle motion going on of fact-checking, where this conspiracy theorist will quote this other conspiracy theorist, only to quote this other conspiracy theorist, whose information he got from hearsay from another guy. And it's amazing how this almost massive wheel just turns in a circle, and they don't bother to do proper journalism at all. And that is the root of really what they're doing. I mean, I would love for Miles to take on a guy who lives in the UK called Paul Joseph Watson. I'd love him to take him on in a proper debate. I think it would be absolutely brilliant. Why would I want him to take him on? Because he, at the moment, is the mouthpiece of Alex Jones in the UK. Now, I've done several videos about him already, proving how wrong he gets. Any time he mentions the UK at all, 80% of the time, it's wrong, flat out. And the rest of the time, it's misquoted or spun in a way that makes it sound, you know, worse than it actually really is. For example, one statistic that they've liked to bandy around at the moment is that the violent crime rate in the UK is ridiculously high. It's only 4.0% the violent crime rate in the UK, and that's per 100,000 people. Now, if we take that exactly same sample size and we say what's the violent crime rate in the US, it's 6.5%. So, for the exact same amount of people, it's higher in the US than it is in the UK. And this also comes on to another fact of recently what I found out with the past couple of months was what's happened with Luke Wachowski, and the fact that a couple of years ago he stole from his own organisation that was meant to be giving, you know, to charitable first responders organisations, and he basically stole $85,000 from his own organisation, from donations that people had given to him. And from what I've tried to follow this up, apparently he's still doing it. So, and then you bring this up to, I brought this up to John Scobie. Now, people who have watched 9/11, not the 9/11, the 7/7 Conspiracy Road Trip will know who he is. I actually brought this up to him on his channel, and I said, hey, look, your leader is stealing money from you. He's doing, and not only is he doing wrong, he's misappropriating your organisation's funds. Any other organisation, he'd be out the door instantly, because they'd have to do damage control and make sure that, you know, that to almost rebuild their reputation. And it's astounding that when I was talking to him, after a couple of incidents pointing out, well, look at the numbers, look at this, he's done, you know, he spent $160 in a bar in New York. The bar has never had anything to do with a We Are Change event or anything like that. You know, he drank that away, or, you know, partied it away. That didn't go towards the organisation. That's, you know, people who have donated for a specific reason. That's what he's done. So it's absolutely insane when you try to tell them the truth and they don't understand. And it's almost the leader's fault. So that's my take on it.